I thought I would do a video where you see that I do actually wear a mask when I need to wear a mask. This is a green. My board still has blue from the day before. So as I work, hopefully it will give this green more of a teal tinge. Make sense? Anyway, I don't really have anything to say. I just wanted to come on and do this. Connie asked me on Facebook about setting up and selling beads that she sorted. I love sorting mixed beads. OCD heaven. If you want to do it, yeah, give it a try. I'm not going to say that it's going to make a huge amount of money, but give it a try. Most people who buy stuff are buying on impulse, or it's a planned purchase. Yeah, that sounds counter. Okay, I got an itch. Got it. So if you go to events, people don't buy from you the first time you're at the event. They plan to buy from you the next time you're at the event, even if it's a yearly event, which sucks because it means you don't get as many sales the first year. And if you only do the event once, it's kind of a waste of time to do an event once. Okay, the first year is when the regulars take note of you. The second year is when the regulars come and buy something. Farmers markets and whatnot, the first time you're there, people will just check you out. The second time you're there, they might buy from you if you have something they want. The impulse shopper who only goes to that farmer's market once a year comes in with an idea, I want some flowers, I want some fruit, and I want some art or a coffee cup. So if you happen to have something within the scope of what they came in with the idea for, you can get their business. I have to wear the mask until all the powder's gone. One of the things with paint, you ever notice how so many different paints and stuff will say non-toxic really, really loudly? They're lying. They're always lying. They're completely lying, and they're lying. Food coloring is not non-toxic. All the powder is gone. Food coloring is GRAS. GRAS means generally accepted as safe. GRAS is not the same thing as non-toxic. What they mean by non-toxic is it will take years for you to notice the damage. One of the things I go round and round with people in the herbal community about is herbs like comfrey. Comfrey is on the GRAS label. It used to be recommended for a lot of things. People still put it in their smoking blends. Comfrey has what is called non-pyrolytizing alkaloids. What does non-pyrolytizing alkaloids mean? It doesn't matter. It has them, and they poke neat little holes in your liver. So people who are exposed to comfrey on a regular basis slowly but surely get liver damage. The same as somebody who drinks too much. And you will get the same sclerosis of the liver from comfrey that you will get from alcohol. That's true of a lot of products. Tylenol. Tylenol causes minute damage to the liver every time you use it. You use Tylenol and alcohol, it causes slightly better than minute damage. But it's GRAS. It's generally accepted as safe, and they call that non-toxic, but it's not non-toxic. It's just killing you very, very slowly. One of the things I've noticed over the years is the sheer number of not too intelligent people who are not too intelligent because of an environmental exposure as a child. We all get upset about Flint, Michigan and the water and the lead in the water, and nobody deals with the fact that every apartment complex out there makes you sign a lead waiver. Why does the apartment complex make you sign a lead waiver? Because they know damn well they got lead-based paint. Why do they make you sign an asbestos waiver or a mold waiver or whatever waiver they want you to sign? Because they know it's a problem. And they don't want you to be able to sue them. Kids' paints. Don't eat the paint. You know, we all know this, right? How many kids eat the paint? They eat the paint. They really do. Food coloring. A lot of ultra healthy people, health conscious people, won't do anything with artificial food coloring in it. Why? Because Blue Lake 40, one of the blue lakes is phthalo blue. Phthalo is an abbreviation of the word phthalocyanidine. Cyanidin. Anyway, it's got trace cyanides. Cinnabar is vermilion, is one of the reds that's no longer legal in the United States in food, but if you're buying food from other countries, you might be getting it. It's mercury sulfide. It's trace mercury. It's a red food coloring. Okay? Safe doesn't exist. Plastics. I have a hate on for plastics because my body reacts to them. I did Sculpey way back when Sculpey first came out. I made dragons, I made little sculptures. I had a blast doing it. And then I had health problems that came from exposures to the plastics. And I quit doing them. And then they claimed that they had better formulas and it was better. And I guess it is better. I guess. I use the Sculpey. I like Sculpey. But you have to wash your hands afterwards. You have to wash down your product afterwards. You have to be careful. And you have to bake it in an oven that is not in your living space to be safe. Safe is an illusion. It does not exist. I'm trying to pick up as much blue as I can. And then I'll probably wash this board and start again on another color set. See how smooth that is? It's because I started out with smooth pigment to begin with. The pigment that I'm using this time is the pastel chalk. I wanted to see how well it worked, and it works really well. This is paint already. I mean, this is absolutely paint. You got a fine scritch going on and that's it. I was just trying to pick up blue because there's spots with blue on the board. And I think I'm done. So I'm going to try to get all the blue off of the glass and get that mold in. Yeah, maybe not. It gets hard and crunchy. Where is my, there it is. One of the things I like to do, which is an absolute waste of paint. But it's my paint, so I can waste it, right? Nope, that's not a good pattern. Let's get a good pattern going. You can get really nice patterns on the bottom of the cup. And I'm going to get into glass molar soon. That's almost nice. Let's get a little bit more and try that again. Okay, here we go. Haha, nope. I'm just... Okay. Meh. There's enough paint in the dark area that you could take a paintbrush, lift paint up, and paint with it. But I just like the look. I really do. So now I scrape all this together and start putting it in pans and on dots. I was going to show you before I do that. This is what I'm calling my goth palette. I made the book. It's just recycled cardboard and tape. that doesn't want to stay taped. So that's the color spread, which you can't really see. This has got warm notes going across. They are actually different colors, okay? And then that's the paints. The paint tins, if you can't tell, are not that full because I didn't make that much paint. The paint cups. So that's my goth palette. Pretty cool. And there's a white that you can't see right there to go with the white there. There's barely any white in the cup. The issue with this is whether it's full of paint or it's not full of paint. The thing costs me, I think we figured out $7, which means I'd have to sell it for 15 bucks, whether it's full of paint or not. For that, I don't know that anybody'd be interested in paying 15 bucks for that. You know? But it's for sale. That's my palette. Now I need some dots and I need some pans. So the dots are here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I got 3. And I need 2 pans. Okay. Selling in the age of COVID. First of all, it's my opinion that COVID's not going away. They did not get a handle on the virus at the start. Mind you, coronaviruses have been around since the early 80s. Okay, that's when they started being noticed medically. And since the early 80s, they have become a common cold that has been questioned as being linked to everything from obesity to dementia to sterility. Okay. Coronavirus is just that on steroids. SARS, MERS, all of those came out. When they came out, they got a handle on it quickly, got it tamped down, and stopped the spread. Because we had a functioning CDC and a functioning everything. And at some point, things quit functioning. And this time, globally, it didn't get tamped down. It didn't get... People underestimate how much the U.S. did in the past, how the leader in and the example of, and by Trump not responding and gutting the CDC, the world didn't respond. And most of the world doesn't have the ability to do what the U.S. used to do. I worked a hot zone for a short period of time. I worked a viral pathology response team that worked a measles case and bubonic plague in Brazil and measles in New Orleans. And the U.S., they shut down ASMRID, okay? The Army Medical Viral Investigations and all of that, the people who pay attention to this shit, they shut it all down because it's just wasted taxpayer money in their opinion. And disease is the #1 threat to humanity. Disease is what's going to cause our extinction. You got Elon Musk worrying about an asteroid. And yeah, an asteroid's a problem. But the reality is, disease is what's going to do it. I'm babbling. Ha-ha! Paint drop! Now we see how it dries. If it dries well, it looks good. It's not spreading out. The blues and the teals I did the other day spread really bad. They're still usable, but they spread really bad, and the teal won't hold on to its little cup, which is annoying. This is that teal. Can you see how flat that is? And this is that reblended blue. Can you see how flat and glossy that is? Glossy comes from too much binder. See that? what you're looking for, what you want, is that, where it stands up off the card. Can you see how that stands up off the card and it's kind of matte? That's what you want. Anyway, we'll see how this dries. I don't think coronavirus is going away. I think we're going to see mutation after mutation after mutation. Why do you have a clot? You're good. Okay. Each one's going to do something different, and now you're going to need a booster on this immunization, and now that immunization isn't any good anymore, and it's always going to be an issue, and it's always going to attack vulnerable populations. The thing that's going to surprise the hell out of people and be an issue is when the next mutation attacks children instead of adults, or pregnant women instead of not pregnant women, or just men, or 1,000 variables, million variables on what it can decide to attack. People think they understand it, and they don't, because diseases jump, diseases change. So, vending in the age of coronavirus means vending in an age of wearing a mask, which means you can't smile and charm your customer, and vending in an age when people out there don't care if they get you sick. Except that's always been the case. If you've ever done science fiction conventions and such, then you know about con crud, and everybody makes jokes about con crud. Con crud is multi-donor, I can't say it right now. Con crud is not one disease. Con crud is the act of being in a large area, being exposed to multiple people and multiple diseases until your immune system can't do it. So the cold that would normally be no problem becomes a really bad pneumonia. That's what con crud is. And con crud kills. Every year you hear about somebody who got sick right after a convention and then died. And everybody just kind of shrugs like that's just the way it is. And it's not just the way it is. It's people don't wash their hands, and people don't care if they have a cold or a cough or a sniffle, and they get you sick. I go to conventions and I stand on the edges and I don't actually talk to people that much. I literally hide away and avoid people because people are stupid, and people will get you very, very ill and not care. Or claim they care, but not care. So now we do a swatch. I need more water. That's a really dark, thick color. And then we do a lift test, and it lifts. Lift test is, to me, the key, because you can put anything on paper. The question is it staining or is it painting? Because painting is on the surface of the paper and staining seeps in. So that's what I just made out of, and that. There's a woman online who's selling her swatch cards that look, not this, she does other things, but she's selling her swatch cards for $65 a card for people to frame and put on their wall. Would you frame and put a swatch card on your wall? Do you consider that high art? I kind of really like it, but do you consider that high art? I don't know. I may start, because I could do that with every single color and then see what happens. I want a little darker at the top. With coronavirus, you have to decide what your level of comfort on risk is. For the first year, my level of comfort on risk was I ain't leaving the fucking house. I had to leave the house in October they messed up my voter registration with the move. And I was going to vote So I had to go to DMV and make an appointment, all of that. And then I had to go to a store because there was something I needed that had to be sized. And then last weekend we went on a little go up to Detroit Lake and walk around and go home, because the falls and Detroit Lake and all, it's close enough, and I didn't have to interact with anybody. And that was nice. We'll probably do something like that again tomorrow morning. If you go early in the morning on weekdays, there's no people. But that's my comfort level. On the other hand, the husband has been exposed at work, where they send out the, hey, we're doing contract tracing, you've been exposed 3 times now. So I'm going to get it from him. I already had it once, we're pretty sure. We'll see, So I got 2 pans and 3 dots off of 1 pastel chalk. And the board is not clean, but there is a lime green pastel chalk there, which means I can grind that one out and put that one on this and get a little bit darker than lime green. And yeah, I can keep... I try not to clean the board until I absolutely have to. Because if I take a washcloth and I wipe this down and it looks clean, and I spritz it, and I take a washcloth and I wipe this down, I make a really dark handprint. And I spritz it, and I take a washcloth, and it takes it's like 16 layers. And that's with just one color done the first time. That's a waste of pigment to take it up. Pigment costs money. So I leave the pigment on the board, and I just keep going from blue to greens until I can't get any further, and eventually I will clean the board. What I'll do is put down basic white and make a pastel green last. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm talking. That was my conversation. I will talk to you later.